I want to bring in Main Street Research, their Chief Investment Officer, James Demmert. And James, I will point out for the audience, that same guy in April lowered the target from NVIDIA from 165 to 150, right? So, but it has come down a lot. It is under a certain amount of pressure. Has the AI trade peaked in your mind?
Yeah, Charles, this is a great point. I think a lot of investors are now concerned with the weakness. No, it's not over. This is the early part of this AI revolution, evolution. It's going to have pullbacks, corrections. And what happens is market psychology gets so negative, and when the people from Apollo give us that negative message, people pounce on that. And what happens, I think they start to run away when they should be running towards these stocks. So we think this is where the value is. This is going to be a great trade going forward.
And you especially like AVGO, Broadcom, and part of the NVIDIA weakness, at least in the latter part of last week, was their success. Look at this one. Now, this stock is taking off. It's coming to its own. It was the most quiet trillion-dollar company out there. Now they're getting deal after deal. Is it a bona fide competitor in your mind to NVIDIA?
Oh, we think it is. They do a more tailored chip than NVIDIA does, and it speaks to the evolution of AI. AI is evoluting, and Broadcom makes those tailored chips that allow companies like Microsoft to have something a little bit more specific for certain case studies. It still means NVIDIA is a buy.
Okay, so NVIDIA is a buy, Broadcom's a buy. Bottom line is they're both buys. Let's talk about the overall market, because you still have one of the more aggressive targets on the street. 7,000 for this year, 8,100 next year. What gets us to 8,100?
Well, I think it's going to be very carefully, the Fed's going to be careful with those rate cuts. We think they're going to cut the beginning phase. They last about a year, but a little bit more careful than maybe the market expects.
Each meeting, or what would you like to see? What's the ideal scenario?
I think they skip the one in the middle towards the end of the year. There's 3 left.
Right.
I think they skip the one in the middle. That might cause equities to pull back. Investors use that as an opportunity. But they're on that cutting phase. We think it's going to last at least a year, maybe 100 basis points or more. And that's how we get the 7,000. Corporate profit growth, of course. And what I think investors are not talking about enough is AI productivity growth.
Right.
We're already starting to see it. It's going to get more extended as more of those companies you showed on the chart adapt to AI.
8,100, though, this sounds like you got to get some economic backdrop, too, working. Some of the things that maybe, the big, beautiful bill, lower taxes, expensing, all those things really should kick in next year.
Yeah, that DRAG is going to really come big, and that's why you got to see the banks doing well and across the financials, and that's going to lead those markets higher.
Speaking of banks, you like HSBC. There's a lot of banks out there. No doubt this is a beautiful chart. It's breaking out, looks phenomenal. Why this one when there's, literally dozens to pick from?
Boy, there are a lot to pick up. This one we love because it's based in Europe. Europe has experienced kind of the reverse of what the U.S. is. They're lowering rates, which is great for banks, and you have economic acceleration, and the stock's 9 times earnings. Stocks overseas are super cheap. That's why we're a fan of foreign equities.
Good stuff. I got it. You've got Netflix here, which is, it's been an unstoppable juggernaut, but the stock has stalled, which is kind of interesting. You wonder just how much further can they keep pushing the envelope? They made a lot of money when they cut back on people sharing their thing. Of course, their global growth has been solid. But what's the driver from here? Well,
it's definitely that market share, the moat around it, but it's the advertising revenue that's been a new push for earnings. We think that's going to continue. Netflix is sort of acting like NVIDIA and some of those other high growth names. We think this is a temporary pause. Great opportunity for investors to get in there and buy shares.
What's the wild card for you? What's the one thing that might upset or could upset all of this?
Well, I think the U.S. credit quality is a problem. We got to make sure we keep our fiscal spending in check.
You might get a time machine and go back about 20 years on this.
That would help.
All right. But otherwise, you've been killing it, my man.
Thanks.
Good stuff. Thanks, James. Appreciate it.